I'm going to send around a roster. Please initial next to your name. If you have a preferred name that is not up here, please make sure you put it here, a nickname you prefer to be called. Please write it next to your name. Please write it next to your own name. By middle of next week or so, we'll get a CD chart. We're going to be doing this. But that way I can learn who you all are over the course of the semester and not just go, you there. Eventually, come on in. This is SMA120 Precalculus, Algebra and Trigonometry. I am Dr. Sassmore. I have been doing this since the year that started 198, people. You came in earlier and saw me messing around with this silly thing. That's to give you the long and short of it. How long do you think I've been playing with the yo-yo? Yeah, probably most of your lifetimes, but bigger problem. I did this 40 years ago. I'm going to make this look easy simply because of practice. And I guarantee you, if I put a yo-yo in your hand, unless you're a shoots kata, or one of the other people who actually make a living doing this, you're going to struggle a little bit like I did at the beginning. That's important. Who here's on a sports team? Any kind. Oh, great. How much of your practice time is spent watching films? Wow. So you're watching your own film, right? When you watch yourself, you can analyze where you made the mistake. When you watch someone else, you see things to aspire to, right? But if you don't get out there on the field and start doing those things, you won't be able to find where you made the mistake. And you won't have anything to aspire to. Except wonderful dreams of, oh, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could? This course is going to require that same procedure. You can sit here and watch me do this all day. If you don't try and do it, then there's no film to watch. There's no output to analyze and say, yes, I was successful. No, I wasn't. I need you to engage in this the same way you engage in practice on the field. The muscle I'm exercising is the 3 pounds that live between your ears. Okay, that's the motivational side of the speech. Procedural stuff. This is me. My office is across the street in Lynch 116. You will find me there infrequently because I spend most of my office hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the afternoon, Tuesday, Thursday as well, over in the Math Enrichment Center in the back of Reeves Library. So if you go in the main doors of the library, go back towards IT, the room immediately to the right is the Mathematics Enrichment Center, and that's where my office hours are. I'm there in person for these hours. I'm also available via Google Meet if you want to click that link on the Canvas page as well. You just need to let me know so I know to get into Google Meet and see you there. My schedule is on this webpage, this Discord server. If you want to talk to each other there, just join up and I'll make sure you're a student. We're going to study out of this textbook, which you should have, if you have the book bundle, a physical copy of, as opposed to an electronic copy of. If you opted out of the book bundle, please make sure you acquire this book. That is the correct edition, the 5th, and that's the ISBN for it. Please make sure you have it. Almost all of the work I'm going to ask you to do is going to come from this textbook. And that is a resource that is written by somebody who already understands this stuff, but it's still a really good resource to have. We're going to cover roughly 5 chapters. 4 through 9 and parts of 11 as we go. That means there are some prerequisite skills for this course. Algebraic background is a requirement. This is what I sent you an email about over the weekend. Tomorrow, the first thing we're going to do is answer any of the questions you have as preparatory to this. After that, I'm going to hand out a physical preliminary exam, a pretest. It's 10 questions. You'll have a half an hour. I don't think it will take anywhere near that length of time, but I want you to feel comfortable with the algebraic skills I expect you to be able to demonstrate. Factoring ability, rewriting formula for particular variables, ideas about lines and graphing, all sorts of things show up in this that we need. Because I'm going to do those things in this course under the assumptions that you're familiar with them. If you're not, the algebra class meets at exactly this time, and we can move you right to that. If you are looking at me going, this is boring, I can do all of this stuff already, calculus meets at this time. We can put you in that class too. You can go up or down from here. Please make sure you take a look at those preliminary chapters, chapter P and 1 through 3 in the textbook this evening. Bring questions tomorrow, because I want you to be able to be comfortable with where we're going to go from here. We aren't actually using digital materials, but the Griffin book bundle will have a physical copy at the bookstore if you haven't already had it shipped to you. This is a liberal arts curriculum satisfying course. That means if you take this course, this could very well be the one and only math course you take at Seton Hill. That's fine. I hope it isn't. These objectives are the ones we're going to address, as well as objectives for the mathematics and program itself. The goal here is that you should hang on to materials from this course so that when you get through Setonian's seminar and are asked to look back at how you addressed all of your liberal arts curriculum, you can look back and go, oh, yeah, I did that stuff, and here's where I used it after that course. It's one thing to do math for math's sake. I love it. That's why I'm doing it for a living, but I'm a weirdo. It's another thing for you to be able to be in whatever your chosen field is and make sure that the mathematics within that field are things you can do. Whether that's chemistry, forensic science, psychology, biology, humanities, history, there are all sorts of pieces we're going to work at. There is a roster sheet going around for you to take 10s. If you have not seen it already, please make sure it makes its way. Who's not gotten it yet? All right, bring it forward for the moment, and then we'll send it back around. Eventually, I will make a seating chart, and then I'll just have to look around and see who's not here. But for the first couple of weeks, I'm going to send that around until I get that right. Why come to class? It's a serious question. As a matter of fact, European universities' attendance is absolutely not mandatory. You don't have to be here. The proctors, the lectors, and the people who talk up at the front, the professing part of being a professor, is designed to make a difference. I like to think that I do, and I have some correlative evidence to that. But you should be here for a couple of reasons. I like to think I make a difference. If you can read this out of the book and learn it, you should test out of this course and go into the next one. No question. Attendance has been correlated with exam grades. I have evidence that says people who show up usually do better on exams. I will record attendance on Canvas, but the attendance on Canvas doesn't have an excused option if you're out for a sporting event or some other prearranged issue. It won't show up properly on Canvas. So the roll in Canvas is weighted 0% of your grade. I keep it in my grade book as well. And then there's a participation and attendance column that I fill in properly at the end of the semester. You will need a calculator for this course. I have, for a very long time, used a Texas Instruments calculator. I use a graphing calculator. We're going to do quite a bit of graphing. What you need is a dumb device. You may not use your phone, Desmos, an iPad, or other internet-enabled device to do your graphing during exams. If you've got a calculator that says CAS on it, that's not just a calculator, that's a full-fledged computer algebra system. And it's like using Wolfram Alpha. And then I don't know what you know, I know what Wolfram Alpha knows. So if you have not already acquired one, you don't have to get a Texas Instruments calculator. Casio's, Hewlett-Packard's, you can get these for about $40 at Walmart down the road. I know the bookstore has these. The Texas Instruments are fairly expensive, and annoyingly, they haven't changed all that much in 30 years, in spite of the fact that the only difference between this one and the one I buy at the store is a color screen versus a black and white screen. They're still the same price. Technology keeps getting cheaper. Why do these things stay the same price? I think Texas Instruments is robbing us blind. However, if you have questions about the calculator please come talk to me about it. Please make sure that you have, or at least know where you can find the manual for it. Because I guarantee you, there are things in this calculator that I still don't know how to do. And I've been using this, again, in one way or another for about 30 years. You are welcome to use all sorts of online items to help you at homework, at understanding, at comprehension. But during the exam, the only things you'll have access to are this and what's in here. To that end, AI. I will not tell you that AI is evil. I will not tell you that AI is going to destroy the world. I will not tell you any of the crap. I don't like using it often. But I have, on multiple occasions, read pages of mag on what is this person saying. And I fed the paper to Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT and said, all right, talk to me like I am a 10th grader. What is this saying? And if that didn't help, I said, talk to me like I'm a 5th grader and tell me what this thing is saying. Usually I get something out of it. I want you to, as you need, use our access to Gemini that you all get free through your Gmail accounts at Seton Hill. The reason I'm recommending Gemini is because it's siloed. Our data doesn't get put into the training data set. To use as a review object. Here's the textbook chapter. Help me with this paragraph. I don't understand this example. Can you give me 2 or 3 that are parallel to it? But generating homework answers with AI isn't going to help me. In the same way that watching film isn't going to teach me the muscle memory for whatever sport I'm doing, even if it's just playing with the yo-yo. If I can't actually do the activity, I'm not sure I've learned it. And the demonstrations in this class are written. To that end, I find handwritten notes to be a major benefit here. I will be writing under this camera when we discuss things during the semester. I'll work out examples with you. I'll ask you questions about them. We'll keep looking and trying to figure it out. It's very hard to type math. So if you want to take notes on your laptop, I think you're going to find yourself at a disadvantage. If you have a tablet with a stylus, that's a lot easier. If you simply have a piece of paper and a notebook, you can then scan that and put it on your computer. So you have it wherever you want, put it in your Google Drive, and you can access it from wherever you can. But I like paper. All of our assessments will be done on paper. Your homework will be handed on paper. There are no upload, download slots for our Canvas page. Please note, academic integrity issues come from copying and paraphrasing AIs. One of the issues I have had is I have had people turn in stuff that uses material that I know is not anywhere in this textbook. or anywhere in any book that we teach off on campus. I had somebody in this very course talk to me about inverse hyperbolic tangent of imaginary numbers in a homework assignment. Eventually, all of those words will make sense to you. Eventually. None of that is covered in this course. None of that is covered in anything under a 300 level math course. And that person was a freshman. That's amazing. How'd you do it? Deer in headlands. It's not that I know that Chegg exists, that the internet exists, that every single problem in this textbook is available to you online. You could quite literally look up the entire semester's homework now, have all the answers in front of you, and be ready to get all of the points on the homework. And then you come in for an exam. With this, which is definitely not connected to the internet. What you can do. Even just the act of taking what's on the screen and rewriting it into your own words is better than just cutting and pasting. Writing is to thinking what your stomach is to eating. Digesting and extracting from what you've seen and turning it into something that is part of you. So I'm all in favor of handwritten notes, handwritten assignments, and handwritten assessments. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. All of the class notes that I write get posted to our Canvas page. Yes, everything that you will see under this camera will at some point reappear on Canvas. As a matter of fact, in our Canvas page, share Chrome. That's us with the circles. There is a currently empty section, the bottom that says class scans. Every time I take notes under this camera, I will use a notes app. My preference one is called Genius Scan. You can use the notes app on your Apple device if you've got one. There's an iOS version. There's I almost said Unix version, Android version available as well. It scans directly to PDF, and each PDF will have the date on it and be uploaded right there. You'll notice above here, exam reviews, formula sheets, keys. Above that are the homework keys. Every time you hand something in and I grade it, I'm going to put up a full set of solutions. That way you know what I was looking for all of the problems, not just how they were graded. A bunch of other web links and handouts, like there's the Discord server I was telling you about, the office hours link. At some point, if you look carefully, when I put up the Zoom link in the first place, I clicked record. There's going to be a class playlist so that if you are out for some reason, this recording with this visual will be available to you. So if you miss class, you don't have to email me. You can go watch the class. It's not a great substitute for being here, but it is available. Bunch of handouts we're going to use. If you have graphing calculator questions, this document was written by one of my teaching assistants 26 years ago at the University of Pittsburgh. And she wrote a lovely how to use a graphing calculator document that I think is very helpful. Above that, Francis Sue is the former president of the Math Association for America. And he wrote a book about mathematics and writing math. One of the big problems in math is everybody says, oh, you put in these numbers, you get out something, you're done. While partially that is true, the other half is explaining it. What did you do? Most of the time, an answer is important. But the process by which you got that answer is more important. There are entire sections where I will give you the answer up front and say, show me how to get there from here. This particular paper, I think, is a good discussion of how to write mathematically. There's a lot of useful crap up here. I don't post for the hell of it. Okay, speaking of homework, if you go to the assignments left-hand menu item on that Canvas page, you'll be able to see every single due date for all the assignments we have. Usually, a section of homework is due 2 class periods after the day in which that was covered. So, on Wednesday, when we cover Chapter 4, Section 1, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, you turn that in Monday. And if you go to the assignment stage, it'll even say, homework, Chapter 4, Section 1, due on Monday, the 31st, right? Because today's the 24th, Monday will be the 31st. Again, solutions will be posted to Canvas. There is an entire sheet on how homework will be graded. My goal, I assign maybe, I don't know, 10 problems for a section for you to actually turn in. I'm going to roll a die and pick one. I'm going to grade that one on correctness, everything else on completion. That turns what would be a 3-hour grading experience into about an hour's grading experience. And since it's randomized, I don't have a choice in which one I grade, but everybody gets the same problem graded. Homework is about a third of your grade. Again, practice helps. If you're absent, if you're absent, a list of problems is posted. The rest of these problems are all important. Again, I'm not going to make up exam questions out of whole cloth. I'm going to pick them based on things I asked you to do. If you miss turning in a homework, you turn it in late. It's rated at half credit. You have 1 week after the due date to turn it in, and no more than 1 day before any exam that covers those sections. So if the exam is Friday, you have to turn it in no later than the class period before, which would be Wednesday in this case. You can scan an email to me if you're going to be absent. If you're here, please physically give me your paper. There will be tutors for this course. As soon as we have tutors, I will post drop-in hours. You can get to Penji, which is the scheduling app. There are instructions and a link in the announcements section of our Canvas page. Please make sure what you turn into me is legible, if you've got a spiral notebook, clean off the fringe edges, and make sure your name's on it. You don't have to fold the edges in some funky origami pattern. Put your name on each page, I'll be fine. There are 4 exams. As a matter of fact, that's what we're doing on any given day. If something changes, I'll update this. This is on that first module in Canvas. But like I said, these sections will be due here. This section will be due here. There's our first exam. 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3, and the final. I didn't make the final exam schedule. I apologize in advance. Yeah, the final's at 8 in the morning. Bleh. The final exam is comprehensive. It will cover everything or emphasize material not previously covered, but it will cover everything. Makeup exams are given only for prearranged or emergencies and require proof in writing at the time of the makeup. If you're going to miss class on the day of an exam, call me. Leave a message. Your message will immediately be converted from a voice message on my phone to an email and be emailed to me. I'll be able to listen to the message in my email, and then I'll know you're not here and I won't be freaking out. And then we can figure out a makeup. If you do not provide documentation for makeup, you won't be able to take it. The grade from your next exam will be doubled and fill in both spots. Now, please understand, you missed that first exam for no reason at all that you can give me a documented excuse for. Means exam 2 is now 32% of your grade. 1 hour for a third of your grade, that's heavy. I don't think that's a wise maneuver. Please document whatever you can. You must contact me no later than the same day of the exam. Ideally, you wreck a car and you go to the hospital. I understand you can't call me right away. Really, I get it. This happened. Don't panic. Archive. Again, I recommend you keep stuff for this course so that you have materials to look back on as you need to talk about the liberal arts as we move forward in Seton Hill education. Here's one type. So that's how your grade is broken down. There's grades. If you earn an 82 in this course, you will get at least a B-. You might get a grade that gets moved up, but no curve is calculated until after the final exam. Individual assignments are not curved, only overall course grades. And the answer to what can I do to bring my grade up, when asked in December, is usually get to 88 miles an hour in your DeLorean so you can go back to August. If you want to know what you can do to get your grade up, start now. Come see me, come see the tutors, go to the Math Enrichment Center, talk to each other. My favorite thing about collaboration is that if I don't understand something and you do, I can learn from you. And if you don't understand something and I do, I can learn from you by helping explain it. And I will know it better for having explained it. Most of the rest of this is notes and boilerplate material that is required in the syllabus. This class is designed to be face-to-face. I stand up here and talk a lot, and every now and then I'm going to shut up. And I'm going to ask you to help me with whatever's next. I post my notes. I post the recordings. Class is not live streamed. You can watch it subsequently, but you should be here if you want to get the live experience. In order to make a safe environment, please make sure that whatever you've got in the aisles is as tucked in and tight against your desks as possible. Those of you that come with large equipment bags for athletics or art or music or whatever, if you need to, you can use these front corners and the back corners and keep stuff out of the way. If we have an emergency, the emergency exit stairwell is immediately across the hall, out, down, across the street, across from the front circle there is a rally point for this building. You'll get starfish messages. We're using that to provide feedback. There will be an attendance survey, a starfish survey, about every 4 weeks. Please check Seton Hill email because that's where those notifications go. You may get recommendations through that as well. If you want to get in touch with me, email's the best place to start. Shoot me an email. I have it hooked up to my phone. It gets to me quickly. I usually will say that I can put a name with a course, but I would recommend that you put the course number or title in the subject so I know what this is about. I get here and go to the gym at 6:30-ish, and then I come to class. So usually I'm not available via email after 9:30 or so at night and before 7:30 because I'm over in McKenna trying not to die. Email will be answered within 24 hours. If you have an emergency, your teacher is not the person to call. If you have an emergency, call your RA, call your parents, call the cops, call the fire department. Get to me when things are calm. If you're going to miss class, that's fine. Send me an email, send me a note. That's not an emergency most of the time. The course schedule I showed you, you know what's due. The assignments tab will be live updated if anything changes. There is a way to port the assignments calendar to your Google Calendar. If you have interest in that, please check with IT. They'll be able to tell you how to do it. I've done it once and then I screwed it up because I had to change stuff and I had to report it. So I just keep checking the assignments tab. There may be an extra credit problem here and there in the homework or on an exam. But as I said earlier, there are no extra credit projects or extra assignments. Some of you will get what I'm saying faster than others. Try and sleep with your eyes open and not to snore. But if I'm rambling on something, it's because somebody behind you who you can't see is looking at me like, huh? And until that facial expression goes away, I'm going to have to keep talking about this. Please make sure you have a valid email address in Griffingate and Canvas. If you did not enter an email address manually, it will by default go to your Seton Hill account. On the other hand, when you email me, it may come from your personal account. If you email me through Canvas, it will come through the Canvas identifier as opposed to either email account. But I don't know who countrybutterfly25@yahoo.com is. That was one of my students' email addresses. It's stuck. I still don't remember who it was, but man, that was 20 years ago. If you set up forwarding from your Seton Hill account to whatever other account, that's fine. But when you respond to me for something, I won't be able to necessarily know who you are. Please make sure your phone is on silent or vibrate. 2 years ago, immediately after I said that, somebody's phone. If you need to take a call in the middle of class, get up, step outside, take the call. But again, try to be courteous to everybody else in the room. That's the reason I don't want Mambo number 5 coming out of somebody's pocket. Or move, get out the way, right? I don't know what your room is. Don't let your phone, your texting device, whatever, interfere with class. If you've got earbuds in, I'm only asking for 50 minutes. Please take them off. Unless they're hearing aids. Hearing aids are kind of obvious. There's a different story there. But things look very similar to me. So I will ask questioningly, hey, what's that? The university's buildings are all tobacco free. If you are a tobacco user, please refrain during the class hour. Those of you that use smokeless tobacco or dip or chew or anything like that, those cuspidors will destroy this carpet. Your spit bottle tips over, we have to rip up the floor. It ain't worth it. Title IX statement. The Title IX statement says that I am a mandatory reporter of harassment issues. If I witness something, I must report it. If I am informed of something, I must report it. So if you have an issue and you tell me about it, I am required to tell our Title IX coordinator. That shouldn't stop you from talking to me if you have an issue or questions. If you don't want somebody who is a mandatory reporter, the Blackburn Center, the counseling center upstairs, and right behind us, the Center for Family Therapy and Campus Ministry are exempt from the mandatory reporting policies. Feel free to connect with any of them at those numbers. Feel free to talk to any of us at all if you've got questions. Accommodations. If you are entitled to certain accommodations for whatever reason, I don't need to know the reason, but the Academic Services Center on 5th Admin at the far end of the hall, they do need to know the reasons, and they will be able to sign up for the accommodations through the system that lets me know, hey, Dr. Sassmore, you're supposed to give John Doe these accommodations. And I have a conversation with you as to how to best do that for this course. And then we go from there. I am recording this course. I don't believe there are very many controversial topics in pre-calculus. So I doubt we'll have heated discussions frequently about things that are in the course. If you feel uncomfortable and want me to stop recording for some reason, please let me know. And I will do my best to make sure that I take that into consideration for the whole class. Come to class, engage with the class, be present. Academic engagement takes a lot of different forms. Right now it's listening, which is kind of boring. I agree. But moving forward, it will be answering, responding, thinking, and talking about these things. It is expected that the pace of this course is faster than any courses you've had in high school, because I get 46 days. High school school year is 180. I get 46. That's 3 days a week. Wait a minute. This is a 4-day-a-week class. Oh, wait, I get 60. Yay. That's a lot of time outside of class processing what we do inside class. And I think a good ratio is 2 to 1, which means this is 12 hours worth of work a week. That's a lot. Again, if you have reasons to not be here, please let me know. Athletic events, other campus events. We will try our best to accommodate the institution, accommodate the things you need. Academic honesty. Don't cheat. What's that mean in this course? Bart talked about AI discussions. We've already talked about collaboration with each other. So if we're working on homework together, it doesn't mean I do problem 1 and you do problem 2 and you do problem 3, and then we just trade papers and copy stuff down. It means I do all 3 problems and then ask you, if I don't know something, hey, how'd you do problem 2? I'm stuck here. Or I didn't do problem 3 that way. Tell me why you did. Because in a lot of cases, there are multiple ways to do the same problem. And you might find something better than your original idea. I talked about the grading of homework. There's the list. So notice chapter 4, sections 1 and 2. There are 10 problems between those two. That is what we do a week from today. You should physically bring in pieces of paper with at least those 10 problems written on, and you'll turn them in. I will take them home. I will grade them. Ideally, I will give them back to you the very next class. And we'll go on from there. This, again, is posted to our Canvas page. That's the scanning app that I've used. There are the links for the Apple Store and the Google Play link, and a video attachment on how to use it. You can use whatever app you want to scan if you're not going to be here. This is a summary of how to get to and deal with the YouTube link for the class recordings. And if for some reason we aren't physically here, this camera comes with me. So if I need to be somewhere else, I can teach class from where that is, provided I can actually do it there. This is my desk at home with this camera on it, pointed down at a piece of paper, which I would be writing, working on stuff that we were going to do. This, for example, is from a computer science course on shortest path problems from graph theory. But I can do that lecture. Now, the difficulty is I can't see you. That's the only thing I see on my screen, which means your best method of asking me things is in Discord. I can pull up the Discord channel on my iPad, have that off to the side, and see questions that pop up. Again, here, joining with voice drags it down, causes lag, could be an issue. Ideally, I'll be here, but you never know. All right. I got 10 minutes left according to the clock on the wall over there. What questions do you have for me about this semester? Yes, sir. Oh, where's the sign? No. Again, ideally, within a week or two, I'll be able to make a seating chart. So make sure you're in a seat you like, adjust as we go along through the semester, through the week. And then I'll just look around and I won't have to send one of those around every time. Other questions? Anybody else need that? Looks like there's someone all the way in the back, if you'll just send it towards the back. Okay. My recommendation, scan through the preliminary chapters, chapter P and 1 through 3 in our text, and bring questions for tomorrow. A pencil, an eraser, and a calculator. And tomorrow, I'll make sure you're adequately prepared for the things I think you need to be able to do that were from preliminary material for this course. And then on Wednesday, we'll dive in. Questions? I will see you all tomorrow at 12:45 here in this room. Have a wonderful rest of your day and happy start of fall semester.